I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. First carry for Nick Chubb. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hey, alert, 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 alert!
Play fake. Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that that could be a really, really frequent combination.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day. Jam, 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 jam. King, king, king. Shoot. Run. Kill. Watch, twist. Watch.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused. And they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jannard Avery able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Mayfield on 1st down. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And down inside the 15 he goes. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
6-0 our score after one. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Set, 180. Touchdown, defense. Alert, 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 alert. Hurry, hurry. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Stop. Mark 37. Defense wins championships, baby. And we're going 37.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Rashard Higgins, his first touchdown on the year, and the Browns add 6 to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Hurry, hurry. Motion, motion.
Mayfield looks to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
We remind you that coming up later tonight, we've got a good AFC battle in Baltimore. The Super Bowl champs, New England, in town to take on the Ravens. And then tomorrow, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium to wrap up this first weekend in November. Here's Lindsey. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 54 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game, and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Royce Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the final act came from Royce Freeman on the touchdown run. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. And the Browns getting set to go. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch safety creep. Watch it. Safety's creeping.
A toss play to Chubb. And just shutting him off there. 16 yards, a 1st down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Regular. No.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well. On 2nd down and short, what I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call it student body right because you had everyone on that side, including the fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that, but it's still the same result.
A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Early down steps to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb His third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game.
He's got him in, complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Slams. Alert, 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 alert.
Here's Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Pistol. 55's Mike. Hey, exit. Don't get nervous. Check. 55's the Mike. Check. 55's the Mike. Who that? Done.
Final play of the half, Mayfield forced out to his left. And that's incomplete. We have hit halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Flacco. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
Flacco throwing complete to Sanders. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
Hey, alert, 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 alert!
They begin this drive with Chubb. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. Real. Switch it. King.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Mike 51. Hey, alert! Let's go.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 33 yards that time. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
That time, a 6-play drive, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We got this.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on second down. Flacco, he's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Check 3. Hey, alert 33.
Handoff comes to Chubb. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Up, up. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Hurry, hurry. Motion, motion. Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man.
From the 44, Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
After the sack on first down, Flacco, high throw, but the catch is made. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. He's got his tight end, Fant. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and it's 3rd and short. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Third and short yardage, Mayfield. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Hey, high 7. For this, man. They're not ready.
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller, and boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conference.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Olivier Vernon. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No, I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing again on second down. Flacco, that catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. It's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who is just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to them.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Hurry. Motion. Kill. Kings. Kill, turn up.
Chubb on the counter. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now.
Watch the run.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A gain there of 30 big ones. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Mike 51. You. 51 to Mike, boys. 51. Hurry. Let's go. Hey, orbit. Mike 51.
Mayfield to throw it. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Now Mayfield on fourth down. And it is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yard.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett.
I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Third and long for Joe Flacco. He's going to let it fly. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Single. Check number 6. Check number 6. Watch tight end. Hey, echo. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. And we're going 37's to Mike. Mike 37. Check.
Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Hurry. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic. Get ready.
Now Mayfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the